Thank you, Surendraji. As usual, your panel topics are very interesting and they instigate certain thoughts. BP Singh ji and Gaurav ji, lovely to be with you on the same panel. The discussion, I like the last word, culture, because he spoke about Assam and religious feuds and religious thoughts, and he talked so much about so many things. I feel that, let me not quote. I usually don't quote, I only quote myself. So here, culture as a concrete tool of achieving the seemingly impossible, a balm soothing the frayed nerves to fight collectively against mindless violence and hatred, building bridges of mutual respect, appreciation, admiration, and understanding. This is what culture really means for me. Ambassador Surendra Kumar said that usually they have international topics of international. Today, for a change, it's interhuman. International comes much later. First, we have to talk about, try to understand, build bridges interhumanly. I asked an elderly gentleman recently who didn't know who I was. I mean, he liked something I wore. Elderly gentlemen have a very keen eye, usually, for good things. And I just, so he said, "Aap kya karti hain?" तो मैंने कहा, खास कुछ नहीं, लेकिन what would you suggest that can be a good career for me even now? So he says, be a good human being. There is huge opportunity there and very little competition. So I forgive him his keen eye, it was wonderful. But what he said really went through my heart. And I think our discussion today is all about that, if I'm not mistaken. The basic values, what we call the human values, humanity. What does humanity consist of? There is political culture, religious culture, economic culture, scientific culture, IT culture, so much so that recently humans have become robotic, I wrote today. I just wrote this afternoon that humans have become robotic. If you observe around on the footpath, pavement, restaurants, everywhere, lage hue hain. And this has become now a common mudra. We've become robotic. They don't hear the car horns, they don't hear each other. कान में खोंस के चल रहे हैं. There are robotic expressions on the face, robotic movements, which means that you are really not in control of yourself, but a machine is controlling you. And I saw a video sent to me, video clip. I'm sure a lot of you must have got it on WhatsApp. In the West, they've developed the female robo called Sophia. That video, I will send it to Ambassador Surendra Kumar today itself, and you can forward it. It's amazing. She's sitting in a video show, in a television show, Even her pupils are moving, she's smiling, she's frowning, she's answering. The timbre and tenor and tone of her answers, her voice. I said, humans are becoming robotic and robotic are becoming human. So what are we talking about? Which culture are we now going to talk about in the changing global human scenario, where we are fast losing touch with Mother Nature? Now today we're sitting in the air-conditioned hall and talking big things, big ideas, big palaver. We know what's happening in flooded areas of Gujarat, of Assam, of China, of Japan, of Chile, of Argentina on the television. It's wonderful. We eat our pizza, we eat our whatever, drinking our cup of tea. So I feel the culture of losing touch with nature, with our surroundings, with each other, and with ourselves. This has become the culture which has given rise to all these questions. The space for each other has shrunk. One side, the reality check, population exploding, so the crunch is felt everywhere. Geographically, it's the same area, it's the same cake, and there are thousands and lakhs of more consumers. So the crunch in society, the crunch in relationships, the crunch in materialism, in materials, the crunch of money, the crunch of jobs, everywhere you feel the crunch, which gives rise to violence, which gives rise to aggression, which gives rise to all kinds of negativity. On the other hand, great aspirations. Everybody wants everything. There are advertisements, there are hoardings, there are television films. Everywhere you are told, this is what you should become, this is what you should have. You know, are intrinsic to India's culture, this I come to tolerance. He spoke about religious tolerance. I can tell you about political tolerance or intolerance, which I have suffered myself, which was never the case in India's culture, the field of culture. But I want to say, first of all, that the word tolerance itself, to me, it diminishes the value. Tolerance, I tolerate you. It's a very condescending kind of a feeling. But the minute you say sahishnuta, samabhav, it's different. There is an equality. There you are together. There you are looking at each other with respect. Am I right? So the word tolerance gives me the shivers. And that is where I think we are going wrong. The tolerance and intolerance debate has become so violent in itself that I think we need to change the discourse, according to me. Then, here I have. I was telling you about the intolerance that I suffered, and I think I would like to give you the example, because unless I give you the example, like he gave the example of the Assamese people. I was chairman Sangeet Natak Academy, and BPG was simultaneously chairman of another institution organization in the NDA-1. And Atalji himself was very keen. This is a presidential appointment. It's a Sangeet Natak Academy, and all the three academy chairman presidents are appointed by President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. He says, Sunal ji, everyone says you should, will you accept? Great honor. The minute elections were held and the new government came, for the first time in independent India, in the cultural field of independent India, the first time it happened, the government interference. Hound out everyone appointed by NDA government. Hound out. So much so that the Minister for Tourism and Culture, Jaipal Reddy, I have to take the name, why not? Everyone knows, has to send people to find out what Sonal has done. Get me some proof. We have to throw her out. And I refuse to resign because I've done nothing wrong. Why should I resign? Kamala Devi ji was appointed by Janta government, Morarji Desai's government. Then Indira Gandhi came in 1980. There was nothing happened. Girish Karnad, same way, so many. So what I'm saying is it's very easy for people to talk about tolerance. But the tolerance word itself holds the intolerance. And therefore I would say that human values, respect for what one is doing, one's contributions, that has to be kept in mind. Again, I don't say Muslim, and I think we artists are the greatest secular people. मेरा सरोद बजा रहे हैं अबरार हुसैन, मेरा कोई वो तबला बजा रहे हैं इरशाद, कोई ये बजा रहे हैं, कोई वो बजा रहे हैं. हम लोग सब इकट्ठा रिहर्सल करते हैं. ईद के लिए वो सेवइयाँ दे जाते हैं, गुलाब जामुन दे जाते हैं. हम दिवाली मनाते हैं, उनको भेजते हैं, घर आते जाते हैं. We dance to so many religious texts. I think, if you allow me to say so, you should all learn from artists of India. Should all learn that we have the Sikh gurus, we have Bulle Shah, we have the Sufis. I have danced to all these, and people have danced and sung all these. Ustad Wasifuddin Dagar, the great Dagar Bani, they are all Muslim. And they start with Anandam and Om Tat Sat Narayana. So I think we need to change the discourse a bit and come away from the secular tolerance, dialogue, discourse, debate, whatever you call it. The terminology has to be changed. And for your information, 90 countries in the world, Surendraji, you have also been to so many countries as ambassador, whatever, Rajdoot. BPG has been to so many countries. All of you are great people here. I have never heard the word secular in any country. No country uses this word secular, and believe you me, India is not the only country in the world. We should not pat our own back, which has so much diversity. There are countries in the world which have equally great diversities, but the word secular has never been heard anywhere. और हम जिस तरीके से उसको उछाल रहे हैं. So I think we need to be more tolerant and understanding towards other countries, how they live together, what are their problems, how are they applicable to us, and how should we change our discourse, and how we should become more cultured, more civilized, more respectful towards each other. That is the only thing I can share with you. Thank you.